Welcome back, everyone, and let's talk about one of the most discussed location in the property investment community, and that is everything regarding Melton. Now, with Melton, I have discussed this location a couple of times before. You can check out those videos, but it's been a while, and I wanted to give an update on the location itself. And without further ado, let's get straight into the data because there are definitely some concerns that I want to be talking about Melton. Now, when we start to look at Melton, you can see a median buy price of around 860K with a yield of 2.6%. Now, that's highly, I would say, not inaccurate numbers. Those numbers are a combination of various different suburbs with very different median prices in there. Hence, the numbers are a little bit skewed in general. But when we start to look at the growth levels, Melton in general on an LGA level has done about 4%. Median rents have grown about 0.6%, and it's got a good ersatz score, good socioeconomics, good renter to owner occupier ratio. But one of the first things you'll see straight away is the vacancy rate itself and the high numbers of building approvals in that area. But those are some of the biggest concerns about Melton in general. When we look at the stock levels, you can see it has been on a slow bit of an uptrend with more stock coming onto the market, but demand is still relatively high with the overall short-term trend in a downward trajectory, which means there are more buyers in the market. But I don't want to just focus on the overall stats. The first thing I do want to show you guys is when you start to look at Melton, you can see there has been a lot of growth in a lot of these suburbs over the past 12 months or so, with some locations hitting above 11%, close to 10% in some locations, as you can see. But the one thing that you will notice with Melton is that when you start to look at some statistics, like vacancy rate, for example, and you put 2. Now, I like to put 2 because that's generally what my target range is. I want vacancies to be less than 2%. However, when I put it into the metrics, you can literally see that no suburb comes up on the filtering mechanism, which means that no suburb in Melton has a vacancy rate less than 2%. And that's not a good sign for us as an investor. That means a lot of properties are available for rent, it means a lot of properties are currently vacant. It means that properties are taking longer and longer to find a tenant, which is an issue. And you can cross-reference this against SQM research as well, where you can see the postcode for 3337. The vacancy rate is now sitting at 3% and it's on the rise at this point in time, which is not a good thing for us as an investor. And by the way, this is the postcode for Melton West. When you look at Melton South, for example, it just gets worse. You're looking at vacancy rates of up to 6%. I mean, it's just astronomical. I mean, all you have to do is just look at the number of red dots on realestate.com with all the rental properties available. I mean, we have almost 812 properties available for rent. I mean, it's just absolutely insane when you start to scroll down and look at different little nooks and crannies where there's just an abundant amount of stock. And that is a problem. And this vacancy rate, by the way, is likely to continue to increase into the new year as more investors purchase into the area, as more stock begins to settle, and as more investors try to find a tenant in the area. So if you do want to invest in this location, you do have to understand that your property will lie vacant for a period of time before you do find a tenant. You may have to list the property under market value. I mean, when we look at the asking rent for the location, you can see that over the past 12 months, it's had negative rental growth. That is not a good sign as an investor. It is a problem because we need rents to rise in order to help with upkeep with the maintenance of property, to help upkeep the cost when interest rate rises, when maintenance items occur. Very, very important as an investor that we have this. And that is a problem that I currently see with Melton LGA in general and within suburbs itself, where the vacancy is just on the higher end of the spectrum. Now, if you do put 3, you do get some suburbs that do come up. But by the way, this is still a vacancy of 3%. Or it's not ideal to invest in suburbs with a vacancy of above 2 and closer to 3%. It is not ideal. This is not to say that Melton is not going to have any growth in the short term or in the future. In fact, contrary to popular belief, I do actually think that Melton is going to continue growing for the next 6 to 12 months. When you start to look at the growth, it's already had about 8 to 10% growth in Melton West. Rents are poor, as we know. But when you look at the supply and demand metrics, the overall supply in Melton West is still very low, and the demand is overall high, with both short-term trends looking positive from a supply and demand metric standpoint. And as we all know with property economics, if demand outweighs supply, it doesn't matter who it's from, we're going to see capital growth. So even if it is more investors purchasing, even if it is more BAs purchasing in it at the moment, it is still going to lead to price rises because of heavy competition over very little rental stock. It's not just in Melton West as well. When you look at this suburb as well, you can see that capital growth is already occurring in this location. And then when you look at the supply and demand metrics, once again, stock levels are falling. Even though it's not as sharp as Melton West, it is still falling. And when you look at the days on market, the demand levels are still very high. Now, once again, 3.46 vacancy rate, 3.16 vacancy rate, not ideal as an investor, but we're still going to get capital growth happening. And just before I jump into the rest about Melton, if you haven't already, make sure you join the private community. We have close to 300 members helping each other out on a daily basis, helping each other find the right investment assets, helping each other invest in the right locations, trading off on different aspects of different suburbs, and helping people pick the right locations. It is an absolute steal for the amount of value you guys will get simply by joining. And there's over 68 reviews for you guys to go have a read of and learn about people's experiences with the community. Guys, you'd be a fool not to join. I've said this time and time again. It's 2026. You've already missed out on 2025. You don't want to miss out again. Join up. Try it out for 1 month. If you don't like it, you don't have to come back again, but I guarantee you will like it. Let's get back into the video. Now, I just don't want to keep on harping about the vacancy rate and the low rent. I'm going to show you an example because I think examples are the best way to show investors and buyers what they are in for. When you have a look at this property here, right, this one was sold in Kurajang, a nice brick asset, concrete slab. And when you look at the property, beautifully renovated on the interior, you'll most likely get tax depreciation benefits. A great property, perfectly rentable, in great nick overall, decent yard space, not much potential for development work or anything like that, but overall a very nice property. Now this one was sold for $570,000 on the 10th of December, right? Amazing property, and I think this has amazing value. You're right, you're 40 minutes away from the CBD, a brick asset, 700 square meters of land. You can rent this out, and then in 10 years time you can demolish and redevelop it if you want, and it could be worth, close to $1 million or so. All right, I'm just pulling numbers out of my head, but overall a great quality asset. My issue when it comes to Melton and Kurajang is when you start to look at the rental return on the property, right? 3x1, 680. This one is a 3x2, 410, not renovated on the interior. 440 for a 4x2, 420, 3x2. Let me see if I can find a 3x1 for you guys. 3x2 is again 390, not the best, but old interior. 410, there's no 3x1s apparently. Okay, here we go. 3x1, 410. The interior is not the best. It's old, so you can probably get a little bit more. This is another 3x1 being rented out for 380. Look, I think for good measure, I put 380 originally, but to be generous, I'm going to put 410, maybe even 420, right? To be on the nicer side. You're still getting only about a 3.8% yield. Now, there are some BAs out there. There are some property gurus out there. There are some property advisors out there that say this is acceptable because the capital growth return is strong. In my opinion, I would not touch a property unless it was minimum 4.5% yield, right? Honestly, I'd prefer above 5, but those glory days are slowly coming to an end with the way property is going. But when you look at this asset, it is incredibly hard to justify a purchase on 3.8% yield. Now, yes, there is a little bit of a difference, a couple $1,000s when you go up to, say, a 5% yield. You save a couple thousand, around 5,000 or so at 4.5%. Now, some people say 3.8% is good. In my opinion, no, right? It is too much of a cash flow drain when it comes to your lifestyle commitments, when it comes to actually, and the more important thing, scaling your portfolio, right? It is really hard to build a long-term property portfolio on low yields because it'll take a long time before those rents rise to kick in and interest rates may or may not drop. So you may end up losing even more money if rates start rising again. And that is a problem. And look, in this property, you're going to be around negative 16K, negative 10K after tax return if it's under your personal name. It's still a lot of money to keep forking out. And remember, if you buy one on 3.8% yield, if you try to look for another one on 3% or 3.5% yield, you're going to lose another 15K or so. How many of those can you absorb on your normal income? Because I guarantee you, most people can't keep absorbing hit after hit after hit. So it's better to start off investing in locations with high yielding properties. And so the reason I'm harping on about this point is that I want to paint the reality of the situation in Melton at this point in time, right? The yields aren't good, the vacancies are high, cash flow is going to be a problem, but you'll likely get capital growth. When we look at the overall stock listings of Melton West, for example, they are incredibly low. And even though there's a slight uptick, overall the trend has been in the right direction. There's low stock levels, high demand levels, capital growth is going to occur, right? And when you look at the asking sale price for Melton West, it has gone on a huge upward trajectory. Now, there is differences between HTAG and SQM, hence why there's differences in the 12-month percentage change. SQM does postcode, HTAG does suburb level, but this is just to give you the general idea and general picture of what is happening in Melton. Now, don't get me wrong, there is stuff going for Melton. In fact, they have a new major hospital coming in late 2029, I believe, from the last time I checked. $900 million investment, a huge amount of jobs and infrastructure coming into this area because of the hospital. This is a huge major project coming to the area, supplying the economy, bring new jobs into the area, right? That is huge. In fact, there's a lot of investment going. There's about a $3 billion project and investment pipeline at the moment, and it's already home to about 200,000 odd people, right? And there is more and more infrastructure and commercial projects being built up in this area, and it's going to grow into its own mini little city over this period of time. And it's only 40 minutes away from the CBD. So even though it may seem I'm like Melton bashing, I'm more bashing the vacancy and the rental return on the property, because that is what is most concerning to me about this location. And when you look at the population forecast, it is tipped to have over 450,000 people by 2046. So undoubtedly, it will see some growth over that period of time. And when you're picking up assets like this for 570K, that's a brick home, 700 square meters of land in a good pocket, established pocket, it's good value. Don't get me wrong on that piece. And if you hold it for the next decade or two, you're likely to do well. But you do need to accept that scaling a portfolio on 3.8% yield is going to be much more difficult, and the cash flow drain is going to be hard. And by the way, in 12 months' time, you're not going to be able to raise those rents because there is just too much supply. Hence, you're going to take a hit in that aspect as well. Now, these are all considerations to keep in mind if you are considering Melton. I want to be very clear. Do I think growth is going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months in Melton, in specific suburbs like Melton West, Kurrajong, Hakonis? Yes, I do think it will happen. But the rental situation, the vacancy, the yield, those things are going to get worse, right? And I haven't even touched on the building approvals, but I've talked about that in my previous video, so go check them out. But I just wanted to get that point across that if you are considering Melton, please understand what you're buying, please understand the cash flow constraints, and please understand that you probably can't raise rents for the next 12 months. Now, if anyone does have any questions or they have different thoughts, you can put them down in the comments below. Having thoughts and opinions is important. We need to challenge each other's ideas. I'm happy to be wrong. So if you think otherwise, please let me know in the comments. And if you need help picking the right location and you want to find a location with good yields and a decent budget, there are locations that you can have a look at. And if you need help, jump into the private community. That is why we are here to help. Not just me, we have close to 300 other investors helping each other out on a daily basis, buying properties every single day. In fact, people are buying amazing properties every single day in the community and purchasing the great assets with good yields, good purchase prices, and you can just read all about it. Jump in the community, guys. You have everything to gain by being part of a team. We're here to help. Till next time, thank you very much.